Hey y'all, what's up? It's Nadia and I'm back. And today we gonna do something a little different. Today I have a story time for you guys. So I'm trying to kind of like mix up a little bit what I do on here, and I was like, you know what? I got a pretty interesting story, a pretty interesting experience. Okay, so first, let's start off by saying this was like years ago. This was years ago. So yeah, so there's that. So anyway, so this was back in like 2010, maybe 2009, a little bit. You know, I was just getting in college, and yeah, so you know when you just get in college, you trying to meet new people, and you hanging with this one, hanging with that, just trying to get a feel of the college atmosphere. You fresh out of high school, and it is what it is. So I was dating or whatever, as most of the girls my age, we were dating around, seeing what we like. It's college, it's a plethora, so so I met this guy or whatever, and he off the bat, like, he let me know, like, I'm from New York. Okay, so if anybody know, like, nothing but New Yorkers, like, they come to Florida. That's what they do. We call them snowbirds. Like, it is what it is. So he made his way down to Florida. So me looking back at this now, I don't even know if he really was even going to the same school as me. I don't even know if he was even enrolled, but he was there. Okay, he was there. So we're gonna call him New York. Okay, so we gotta give him that. To be honest, I don't even remember the fella name at all, because that's how quick it was. So okay, so I met him on my college campus, and we started being cool or whatever. I don't even think we had any classes together. It was just kind of like mutuals, like in passing or whatever. So we met each other, we was cool, blase, blase, blase. He had like a kind of like a Nas aura, like, very like New York. Like, nah, he kind of low-key looked like Nas a little bit, like just a tad bit. I might be reaching a little bit, but ladies, if you know, like, we love Nas. But anyway, he kind of had that look going on, except he had hair at the time. So, and it wasn't long hair or whatever, but he just kind of gave me that smooth, blase, 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 blase. So he was like, okay, let's go out on a date or whatever. So he texted me, was like, okay, let's go out on a date. So I said, okay, cool, whatever. So we go on a date, and we go to, where do we go? We went to Harry's. We went to Harry's. It's like a Cajun Creole type restaurant, right? So we go there, and he looked nice. He dressed up. He, very well put together, very well spoken. No red flags, no red flags yet. So we sit down at the table, and we get to talking, and I didn't order any drinks or whatever, because again, we on a first date. I don't know you. You get what I'm saying? I don't know you, brother. I don't know you. So we're not gonna be drinking nothing, okay? So we get to talking, we sit down or whatever, and we order, and he just immediately starts talking about his criminal background, right? So he starts talking about how he knows so much about guns, and how he beat this charge in another state back where he was from, and all of the smart, witty things that he did to get away with whatever. And I'm like, okay, like, not too alarmed, because again, this is Florida, this is open to carry, you know what I'm saying? Like, not open to carry, but you can have your you know, you can have it on you if you got your concealed weapon, you license, you know what I'm saying? You got your permit. So it is what it is here in Florida. But he was just a little bit too like boastful about it. Like, you know, basically like I'll whip it out if I have to. Like he just came across to me as very short-tempered, very like, he was smooth, but you know how some people just have that tick? Like he had like a tick about him, and I knew like if any wrong thing, you know, goes wrong, then it's over. So he kind of always like, and like throughout the dinner, he kept bringing up the fact that, you know, he beat this charge and where he from, and basically like, you know, he's down here for it. I don't even remember why he was there. I guess he was just like a fresh start. That's why he was here. And it was just, I don't know, at the time it was alarming to me. It was very alarming, but you know, I'm trying to get through, I'm going through the motions. You know how it is when you're younger, you ain't really thinking, you just kind of like, you just kind of out here. You get what I'm saying? We just out here, okay? So what happened was, I didn't really think too much of it, and at the end of the day, he was like, okay, I stay right around the corner or whatever. So you want to go hang out? You know, let's go chill a little bit, you know, after the dinner or whatever. And at the time, like, I wasn't really done, you know, hanging out or whatever. So I was like, okay, cool, you know, cool, we can do that. Now, mind you, I drove myself there, okay? I had my own transportation there. So ladies, that's another tip. If you can help it. I mean, now it's a time where it's like Uber and, you know, Lyft and, you know, these different modes of transportation. But back then we didn't have Uber and Lyft. So you either caught a ride with somebody or you drove your damn self. That's just how it went. So I drove my damn self in that particular time. So I said, yeah, cool, let's go, you know, let's hang out. So it was actually walking distance. Like where he lived was like walking distance from the restaurant that we ate at, right? So we get there and he's very smooth, like I said, very charismatic, very cool or whatever. But it was just like underlining, like I can tell you have this like psychopath, like you have this side about you. Like it just would peek out. It would rear its ugly head out like every so often. Like when he would talk to me, it would just be like this piercing stare into my eyes. It wasn't like a romantic like, oh, I'm trying to get it, like I'm trying to get the draws like after this. It wasn't that type of like look you in my eyes. It was more like, nigga, I'm crazy. Like I'm crazy, and if one wrong thing going on, I'm flipping the tables at this bitch. Like that's the vibes it gave me, right? So, and I'm saying this because later I, you know, sat back. I'm gonna get to it. So we go back and we hang out and, you know, we kiss and stuff like that. And, you know, he was trying to like, you know how it is when guys feel like they get you back into their space or whatever. So we get to there and I was like, something in my gut, like something in my stomach was like, no, we're not gonna go here, get up and leave. Like just get up and leave. So, you know, at first I had to kind of was like, no, I gotta go, you know, I can't stay here. I got something I got to do. I got somewhere I got to be. I got people to see, okay? So I'm not trying to stay here and do nothing with you, whatever, you know, good dinner. We just trying to get to know each other, right? Type vibe or whatever. Because I just felt like it was starting to get a little bit, you know, like weird. So he was cool about it. And he was like, you know, a little bit, he was like, you know, oh, okay, cool, you know, let's go or whatever. Like, you know, I'm gonna walk you to your car, blase, blase, blase. So that was the end of the date. Right? I never really talked to him again. Like I kind of cut off communication because I just kept feeling this like, it's something off about you. It is something off about you and I just can't put my finger on it. And one thing about me, I've always used and this is something that just was taught to me, you know, and preached to me as a child. Like, if something don't feel right, if something is like off, or you get any weird inkling about a situation or a person, like, you need to get out of Dodge. Like, you need to cut your losses, like cut it loose, like do what you have to. And don't mind you, like, he seemed like a good guy, you know what I'm saying? Like, but it was just something just a little off. So we never really talked again. So tell me why, maybe like a month or so later, he got into this altercation with some guy or whatever, and he shot him, and the boy did not make it. And it just brought back flashbacks to me, like, oh my God, like, what if we got into an altercation, or what if we really got into something like a relationship or whatever, and he got so mad and so hot-tempered to where he felt like he wanted to do the same thing to me. You get what I'm saying? And the purpose for me telling this story is because, number one, as women and just as people in general, like, you have a gut intuition. Like, you have the red flags, you have the signs or whatever, and they peek out, and just try your hardest, like, to not ignore it, like, not ignore it at all. You get what I'm saying? And if you don't take action in the moment, because in the moment I didn't really take complete action, but I knew enough to be like, you know what, I'm not even going back to this situation, because you seem like you're short-tempered. You seem like, you know, you talk too freely about having, you know, being able to use your gun and how many charges you beat. And I'm like, hold on, if you talking about how many charges you beat, you're trying to beat over the same thing, nigga, it's you the problem, because it shouldn't be over and over about the same thing. You get what I'm saying? So it's that. Listen to your intuition when it comes to people. And if you miss that mark, just know that, listen here, people, when you leave this house, you do not know, like, how covered you really are. And I just thank God, like, thinking back, I'm like, I just thank God how protected and I was, and I am. You get what I'm saying? Like, because if it wasn't that guy, it could have been me. You get what I'm saying? And people, you know how it gets when people get into romantic and intimate relationships, when things don't go their way. And if you ain't wrapped tight, if you dealing with somebody who ain't wrapped tight, baby, you got a problem on your hands, okay? You have a real problem. So yeah, that was just kind of like that was a learning lesson. That was a life lesson. Like, you know, just really pay attention to, and I know people like to date, you know, people, you know, like to meet new people and stuff, and but let people know where you are, like, just all of that, because you just never know who you dealing with. You don't know where people come from. You don't know. You don't know. Okay? So that was my story time, you guys. I hope you guys took something from that. And let me know if you want another story time. I actually do have another story time where as I want to tell, and it's funny but not funny, you know, when we got lost in Miami, child. We got lost in Miami with some strangers, okay? So that's a whole another thing, but you just don't know how protected you are until you get into certain situations. You hear me? But anyway, y'all, have you guys been in anything like that? Like, that's crazy. I know women, y'all, we gotta really pay attention, because people are crazy. Some men are crazy out here. Like, it is what it is. But, and it's not like he made me feel threatened in any way. I'm gonna just put that disclaimer out there. I did not feel threatened with him. However, I had this gut feeling that he wasn't so, the elevator didn't go all the way up. Does that make sense? All the ducks weren't in a row. All the bread wasn't baked. Y'all get me? Anyway, thank y'all for watching. I'll see y'all next time. Bye.